Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. We're really pleased that you could be joining us where we will be speaking to you today about Revit MEP and cloud collaboration. My name is Michael Bredenkamp and I'm the Strategic Account Manager for Modena Infrastructure and the MEP space, and I'll be co-hosting this session with you today. Over the next few weeks, we'll be running a series of webinars based on the industry discipline, and we'll be incorporating workflows, we'll be discussing different processes, and also how to collaborate using BIM. We'll also be hosting a few masterclasses where we'll be going deep into the advanced workflows and capabilities of the MEP industry, including the fabrication workflows. To go to our website to get access to the great webinars that we will be running, I'll be posting a link in the Q&A field. Please look out for that. This webinar will be recorded. It will be sent to you in the next day or so to recap on what we've actually covered today. And if you'd like to share it with any of your colleagues, please feel free to do so. We'll also be able to go to our website where you can also check our YouTube channel where all the recordings will be hosted and all our previous ones. So go check it out, guys. It's a lot of content in there is great. If you have any questions during this webinar, please post your questions in the comments in the Q&A box, and one of our technical assistants will be answering those questions. Otherwise, we will be having a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. And for those of you who are joining us now, welcome. So before we get started, let me introduce you to today's presenter, Dino. I think most people know you, so let's just do a quick little introduction. Dino is one of Modena Infrastructure's application engineers. His specialized skills are in the mechanical and wet services engineering. He's one of our in-house project managers, BIM managers, and an asset specialist. His product skill sets include Revit, AutoCAD, Navisworks, and BIM 360, as well as the newly rebranded Autodesk Construction Cloud Solutions. He says one of his main skills is cooking 2-minute noodles in 1 minute 50 seconds. But as of this morning, he says 1 minute 48.
I got close. It was really close.
His industry belief is knowledge and application of knowledge equals success. So Dino, without any delays, let's get started. Over to you.
All right, let's go through between the relationship between Revit MEP and, of course, BIM 360. For those of you who would like to know a little bit more about our MEP team, we have Katie, our director for Modena Infrastructure. Michael, who did this lovely introduction for us. He's our strategic accounts manager and advisor. And advisor is in big words there, so please contact him if you need any answered queries. In terms of applications engineers, it is Nsako and myself who run the technical side of the MEP team. So if you have any technical questions, you're more than welcome to contact one of us, and we're more than happy to get back to you. But with that being said, let's go into the webinar itself and discuss a few of the contexts that we will be going through. So first and foremost, we want to explain what it means to be a collaborator with Revit in BIM 360. I'm going to show you guys what the initial setup is within BIM 360 docs in order for you to collaborate, as well as publishing your Revit model in BIM 360 and keeping track of your version control. We're going to go through linking directly from BIM 360 to Revit. So those are your Revit files, CAD files, Navisworks files. They pretty much follow the similar process. And then finally, we are going to go into a Q&A session. So if there's something that surprised you within this event, or there's a question that you want us to go through with you, you're more than welcome to ask us when we open up the Q&A. With that being said, when it comes to BIM 360 and Revit, we always think about the term team collaboration. And the idea is for us to collaborate from one source of truth. So with Autodesk BIM Collaborate and Autodesk BIM Collaborate Pro, we connect architecture, engineering, and construction teams on a single platform for improved project outcomes. So that means different sets of teams can work on the same model at any given time or place. So long as you have that bit of internet connection, you should be fine. But there are true benefits of collaborating within a team. One, We have one repository for all. That's one location to save your data. One location for your design team. One location for your construction team. And of course, this doesn't just go for the two teams, but anybody else who wants to get involved in the project. There are multiple teams involved, guys. It's not just designs and contractors. So multiple teams can get access to the document management workflows, to the design collaboration workflows, as well as the design coordination workflows. So in terms of
Guys, I think we've just got a little bit of load shedding on our side here, so generator has kicked in. Just bear with us a moment. Sorry about that.
All right, so just to backtrack quickly, we have multiple teams involved. So the idea is everybody gets access to a document control item. Anybody can get access to the design collaboration item. And of course, your access to coordinate whatever designs are being done within the platform itself. The third benefit is that we are an online cloud management service. So online cloud means that we have easy backups, quick, easy for us to download and reuse. We have the ability to control the versions and revisions that are updating and collecting within our repository. And then, of course, it is a secure access to the data, whether it's your data, a teammate's data, or any other means of data that you need access to. Keep in mind that access can be restricted for those who do not require it. So BIM 360 Collaborate is a cloud-based design, collaboration, and coordination software that connects AEC teams, helping you execute on design, intent, and delivery of high-quality constructible models on a single platform. So stay up to date with design processes and make smart decisions with Project Insight. So this is what your typical collaboration workflow looks like for those who are investing in the Collaborate Pro and Revit work sharing. The idea is between different Revit designers, you can go from start to finish within the cloud. And this is what our webinar is based off, this typical workflow. So let's take a look at the start. Whenever you are starting a collaboration workset, especially with Revit and BIM 360, you have some rules and requirements. And this is for the BIM 360 setup. So the first rule is users require the following accesses. 1, a Collaborate Pro or Collaborate Pro Plus license. And then 2, a BIM 360 access. Now, if you get a Collaborate Pro license, this comes automatically with your BIM 360 access. So that means you can connect your Revit directly into BIM 360 docs. The second rule is users need to create a project in BIM 360. If there is no project, there is no means of collaboration. The third rule is users need to activate the following services. So it's not just having a project, but having a document management service activated on your project. Without it, you will not be able to host your model. The second service is collaboration design. This allows for 2 things. 1, the connection of your Revit into BIM 360, and 2, the means to sort through, organize, and track what each team member in the project is doing. The fourth rule, users need to set up a folder to collaborate to. So if you do not have the right folder structure, your one repository will be a mass of confusion. So make sure that you have a Teams setup folder for every single team member on your project. Those folders are restricted to those specific teams thanks to the permissions. And then the fifth rule, users need to set up different teams and link them to the folders in BIM 360. If you do not link the team, you will not be able to see who's collaborating within which folder, see any type of milestones, any consumable items, or any models for that fact from the team themselves. So let's take a look at what this looks like.
Keeping to the 5 rules in order to collaborate using Revit and BIM 360, there are a few items that need to be set up and assigned to a user. For example, if you're looking at my profile now, you'll see that I have an assignment of a BIM Collaborate Pro license. This allows my Revit to connect to a BIM 360 project. Within the project administration access, you need a live project, and of course you need to be given the following permission rights: a document controller, as well as a design collaboration. This allows you to filter through and find all your available documents within the document management side of BIM 360, as well as open your Revit for collaboration into the platform. Keep in mind that you have to have a live project. And again, if you're looking at my screen, you'll see that my project has a logo, a name, a project type, construction type, project start and end dates, as well as project locations. When you activate your project, you need to make sure that the following items have been activated. A document management control item for you to save all your data, the design collaboration, which allows you to connect your Revit into BIM 360 docs and collaborate between other users. Keep in mind that BIM 360 Insight automatically updates or activates when you start a project. This feature allows you to run reporting, which is either summary or detail according to the issues that have been created in the project. In the document management phase, you need to structure folders for your team members within the project. For example, if you're looking at my folder structure, I have a main folder here called Team Collaboration, which houses my shared document folder for any shared items that will be open to the team. Then a strict folder for an architectural team, a strict folder for structural, a strict folder for mechanical, as well as electrical, fire, and wet services. Every one of these folders, except for shared, will get the consumed items so long as those teams have been activated on the design side of BIM 360. Within BIM 360 Design, here's where you can activate your team and link it to the folder. That way, when they are collaborating, they only simply have to go to their folder and collaborate. When they consume another team's file, that consumption ends up in the consume folder within their file struct. And that looks like this. If I go to my document management, you'll see that my mechanical has a main file, as well as a consumed file for anything that they have taken from the design collaboration portion. Keep in mind that when it comes to these items, you can still edit the location of the folders, the team names, the team colors, and you are able to see the amount of members within each team. And this is your strict setup that needs to be done when you are planning a collaboration project, whether it's in-house or with external consultants.
So after you've gone through the initial setup of BIM 360, we then go to the rules and requirements for work sharing in Revit. So when the setup is done in BIM 360, remember it's first in BIM 360 and then we can go to Revit. There are a few things we need to follow. The first thing is a user requires Revit. If you have a Collaborate Pro license and you do not have Revit, you are not going to be able to work share any model. You will just have access to BIM 360. The second rule is collaborate the project at any stage of the design. So whether you are starting the design where you are midway through or even at the end, depending on when you came into the project, you can start collaborating at any point. Keep in mind that the best stage to start is right at the beginning of your model. So again, preferably begin right at the beginning when the project has started. The third rule is synchronize your project every 30 to 45 minutes while you are working. This is an old trick from all of us who have been collaborating, that if we synchronize our data back and forth every 30 minutes, our other users will have access to that data. And then the fourth rule, set up your own publishing times. Publishing and synchronizing are two different things. When you publish a model into BIM 360, you are publishing the latest changes you and your team have done on the project. The synchronize, however, only synchronizes the latest data between you and your team to see, whereas publishing allows entire team and users on BIM 360 to see those necessary changes. The fifth rule, always confirm when a project has been published. If your project has not been published, you will not be able to see it in BIM 360. The only people who will be able to gain access to that project are those with design collaboration licenses as well as Revit. If you do not publish, no other user on BIM 360 will be able to see those changes. So let's go take a look at how this work sharing setup in Revit looks like.
Keeping to the 5 rules of collaboration on our next slide. 1, users do require access into Revit, especially if they are going to collaborate into the cloud. Now, it's not just that you need Revit, but you need your same email account that hosts your Collaborate Pro license. For example, right here, this account for Mr. Kapic hosts my Collaborate Pro license as well as my Revit license. This way, I can now connect my Revit directly into the folder structure that has been set up for me in BIM 360. Keep this in mind that if your license is not reflecting within your profile account on your Autodesk login page, then you will not be able to collaborate. If you do not have a Revit license but have a Collaborate Pro license, you will still not be able to collaborate your Revit into BIM 360 docs. Remember, you require both licenses, a Collaborate Pro as well as a Revit license. In Revit, there are 2 options of collaboration. The first collaboration option is within a network, which is housed within your Office server. The second version of this is within BIM 360 document management. This will take your Revit model directly into the BIM 360 project. Before you confirm the collaboration model, make sure that you are navigating for BIM 360, your hub, as well as the project, and of course your folder location. In this case, you'll see that I'm directed to my project under project files via the team collaboration and of course my mechanical team folder. Once here, I simply have to initiate and then I let Revit and BIM 360 do the rest. From here, you simply have to close out and then just carry on working with your Revit model as you normally would. Now that this is a collaboration model, you have the time now to go set up your work sets in order to lock out specific users or assign other users to different tasks within your Revit model. After you have collaborated your model into BIM 360 and access the platform on your web browser, you'll notice that your model will be processing, updating, and adapting now to the web-based platform. Keep in mind that whatever you do in Revit now will not affect the processing of this model. And also that all Revit users who have access to this model will always have the latest information. As you are updating and building your model within Revit, you need to make sure that you always synchronize your model to the central source. This can be done by utilizing the quick access tool on the top left-hand corner. What will happen now is Revit is going to synchronize all the new data back and forth from Revit into BIM 360 and from BIM 360 into Revit. Keep in mind that it is only updating new information. Any information that was published previously, synced previously, will not be going back and forth to the cloud. Remember, it is only the new information that has been added to the project. When you and your team are ready to publish the next revision of the model, you can do this directly from your Revit project. Again, when you are ready, whether it be every single day, once a week, once a month, it is up to you and your team to publish the model. Make sure to publish from Revit. And what's going to happen now is Revit is going to slowly publish all the additional changes that were done between you and your team and showcase that as the next revision within BIM 360. Revit will notify you when your model has been successfully published. And the best visual aid here is a green bar that will stretch across your Manage Cloud Models feature. So again, if it's glowing green, it means it's ready and it's available to view within your BIM 360 project. When you access BIM 360 on the web-based platform and you navigate to your centralized model, you'll notice that when you publish the next model, your versioning number changes. This represents the new revision or the new model that has been published from Revit into BIM 360. By selecting on the version control itself, you get to see the version history of every single revision of the specific model. You'll be able to see which users have uploaded or published at a date and time. This is stamped out within the version history box. And at any single point in time within the project, you are able to backtrack to the last version by making it current, as well as downloading any of the older versions. So you can download version 1, version 2, or version 3 within your project. Note that after you publish, you are more than welcome to carry on modeling and updating your project file. This is a rinse and repeat process. So the more you work, the more you synchronize, the more you publish, the more variations of your model will start building within the BIM 360 platform.
So as you are working within BIM 360, you sometimes do require the needs of another model to link into and reference to. So there are, again, rules and requirements when you are linking in Revit from BIM 360. And one of these rules is that you need to consume a Revit model in BIM 360. So if other users are utilizing the collaboration process in BIM 360 design and docs, they will start packaging models for you to consume. These consumption files act like a link from BIM 360 into our Revit model. The second rule is that we link consumed Revit files in a Revit project. So you can't just open up a different authoring tool and expect to link a Revit file. Remember, Revit users deal best with other Revit users in collaboration. The third rule, and this is very important, align your Revit project. If you do not align your Revit project, you'll have separate models on one project that are not located in the same coordinate, which is just going to open up more, it's just going to open up another can of worms, and you'll then have to readjust. The fourth rule, synchronize your project. You'll see that this rule comes up a lot. If you are not synchronizing your project, no data is going back to the cloud. So remember, synchronize, synchronize, synchronize. By the way, Revit does a few cool things when it does synchronize. One, Revit first saves the project, synchronizes the project, and then saves the project again for your benefit. So you simply have to synchronize without saving. Revit does the rest for you. The fifth rule, carry on coordinating and modeling in Revit. So as you guys are developing your model, it needs to be done in Revit. Remember, Revit allows you to coordinate specific or key items or disciplines within the platform, utilizing the interference check. If you come for our next webinar, we'll show you guys how to actually do the main coordination within BIM 360. So let's take a look at how linking is done between Revit and BIM 360.
So there are another 5 rules when it comes to linking Revit files from BIM 360 into your Revit project. One of these rules is to go and consume another consultant's files. In this example, what I'm going to show you is how I consume the architectural file. As you can see, it is now available for me to use. And as it's loading, I can immediately consume this file. Keep in mind that you can still go through this file before you even consume it. It should reflect on this platform for you to navigate, see any potential changes, and even drop an issue. But in this case, I'm simply going to go consume the file. Once the file has been consumed, I can navigate to my mechanical team folder. And when I go to consumed folders, you'll see that I've got now access to the architectural team. When I select on this folder, I'll be able to now see the architectural Revit model. Note though, that this model is the first variation of the architectural model that I consumed. If the architect updates his model and publishes it again, I need to go reconsume the file in order to use the second revision of that specific model. Note though that if the model is not yet available in your consumed folder, you might have to wait for about 5-10 minutes of synchronization from BIM 360. Once the model is reflecting in BIM 360, you can start linking it from Revit. In Revit, when you go to inserting Revit links, you'll see that I'm using the external link reference, which will bring me into my BIM 360 project. If I show you now the file path, you'll see that I'm accessing BIM 360, my project that's online, as well as my team collaboration folder, and of course, my mechanical team structure. Of course, I'm navigating to consumed, and I'm picking out the architectural team file. From here, I simply select the file. And of course, I make sure that I position the file according to what was provided to me by the architect, whether that be center to center, origin to origin, or by shared coordinates. From here, you simply have to select open. And what BIM 360 and Revit are going to do now is Revit is going to talk to BIM 360 in order to link that Revit file from the cloud. Once you have linked the file from BIM 360 into your Revit project, you now have a better reference for your modeling for the project within your whole BIM environment. Again, this does require some team work and effort from different consultants. So as much as you will be consuming different consultant files, the same will be going for your other team members. Keep in mind that when you are linking Revit files, you need to align the file to the proper coordinate. If not, you'll have two separate files or two separate models sitting in different locations on your project. Once you have successfully linked and aligned the model, you simply have to synchronize your model again to BIM 360. The nice thing about having a Revit link directed from a cloud point is that the location of the model will not change. Keep in mind that if you're looking at my model here, you'll see that the architectural model is a cloud path. It's still giving me the saved path, but it's stipulating it as it's coming from a cloud source, being BIM 360. And the only way now for me to go change this model is if a project administrator physically moves the model from one folder structure to another. And again, this is very easy to correct as you just have to relink it from the cloud. So what's happening now is we are getting rid of the whole servers within an office to link to. If you're still comfortable with downloading the model and linking it, it's fine. However, it is more efficient to link it from BIM 360. And again, since your link is here, other users can jump onto this project and reuse the same link. They simply have to reload. And again, this now takes us to our final point within our modeling between BIM 360 and Revit MEP. You can simply carry on with your modeling process. And again, synchronize every now and again and publish to BIM 360 in order for other users to go see the changes that have been done.
So, as we're finishing off our webinar, I'm sure there were some questions that have come to light or to mind. So now is the opportunity for you guys to talk to us. We would love to know what your question is with regards to Revit MEP and of course the work sharing cloud-based platform BIM 360. So our question box has gone open. We're going to switch on our cameras. Just so everybody knows, we have Michael here who's joined us as well. So as you guys are asking the questions, we're going to be slowly talking about the platforms. So Michael, anything you've seen in BIM 360 that you admire, workflow-wise?
Look, Dino, there's a lot of things that have come to light in terms of the collaboration with the BIM 360 and the Autodesk Construction Cloud. And I think in the meantime, with people, while we're getting some questions there, I just want to highlight some information with some people, because Autodesk has done some research within the MEP industry, and some of the benefits of implementing BIM is quite actually important. One of the main factors that we're finding is that transitioning from CAD in a nutshell, really, and integrating different BIM workflows can obviously make people feel that it's a big change. But contractors are obviously making that leap, and they're finding that it's a lot easier and simple than it should be. And one of the statistics that we actually found is that BIM savvy firms are finding a lot of new ways to resolve any issues, either on-site rather than resorting to typical RFIs. I mean, 49% reduction in RFIs in the construction phase. You're looking at 41% during the insufficient information because it's reduced from RFIs, and 27% reduction in RFIs caused by things like outdated documents, and also the reduction in RFIs at 27% during the pre-construction phase. So, those are some interesting factors that people are starting to take into place. And I think with the different disciplines that we're in the electrical or the piping, even the fabrication side of the sheet metal ducting, people are finding that the improved labor productivity within BIM is well over 50 to 60%. And that's exactly what we're discussing. And that's why we're showing this information to our clients, that BIM is a massive, massive benefit. And the guys who are already utilizing BIM have seen that, there's over a 90% waste reduction in their BIM to prefabrication. I mean, that is very, very important. And wherever that people can generate extra incomes and save, that's where we want to basically go. So let's just start off with a question that we've already got here from Tontozo. He says, what is the industry approach on file handling? Companies have and prefer a local drive as a repository for their project data. Collaboration requires working in the cloud. Is there any experience on how other companies are handling this? And do they work in the cloud and back up to their local drives?
So this is actually a great question. The best way I can answer it is the best way to handle this is in the cloud. We're working with alongside a few of our clients where we've pushed entire projects now into the cloud, and we haven't heard a complaint about access to data. The problem now with hosting your data on your local server is that, yes, you have the means to keep it, but sharing that data becomes problematic. So that is a very siloed approach. So if Michael hosts data and I host data, that means I got to send out 10 different invites. He needs to find 10 different websites, or in order just to find specific key items. Where if we have one repository that everybody accesses, by the way, secure access, then it's easier to handle the data. In terms of the file structures and the project structure, we try and keep to an ISO standard, but at the same time, BIM 360 is customizable to how people are running projects here in South Africa. So if you want a project coordination for a design team, for a construction team, for even a project management team, you can set these things up. And it's not that just Revit users benefit from BIM 360, but other users like AutoCAD users, Navisworks users, Microsoft Word users, Excel users, they benefit too.
Okay. Well, I think, that's exactly what we've been trying to say, is that, we've got to get away from that whole aspect of saving everything on our C drive. Let's start collaborating where the information actually should be sitting. And, we are finding a lot more people are actually benefiting from it. We have another question here. So what is my data cap on BIM 360?
So the data cap on BIM 360 is currently unlimited. There used to be a cap of 500 gigs. One client in Dubai did cap that, and Autodesk just gave it for free. Now, because Autodesk and Amazon have partnered up, and the BIM 360 servers run with Amazon servers, you have unlimited data. So carry on working to your heart's content in BIM 360, and do not worry about what's capping your data at all.
Okay, we've got another question here from Leon. If link arc model levels change, how do you collaborate with your model?
Yes, this is fantastic. So I did jump a step when linking in models. There is more to linking in models. I'm sure everybody is aware of the copy monitor functionality, or the monitoring link functionality. So when you link in from BIM 360, I would still run the monitor function. That way, if the model from the architectural side has updated with its levels, and I relink it into BIM 360, I can then run my review of the link and update according to what the architect has done. That feature is still available for cloud users in Revit. In actual fact, it works a lot better now because you have that quick access to those models in the cloud.
So then, Dino, does the BIM Collaborate Pro license now actually link my Revit to the BIM 360 platform then?
Yeah. So if you get a hold of a Collaborate Pro license, for those of you who are still used to the old name, it used to be called BIM 360 Design, but now we, because of the cloud construction service being activated, we call it Collaborate Pro. Collaborate Pro has, if I could say, two services involved. I don't want to say two licenses, more like two services. The first service, of course, is to connect your Revit into BIM 360. The second service is the BIM 360 Access itself.
Okay, well, that's perfect, thank you. But then also, does the BIM 360 platform permissions actually affect my Revit workshop?
Yes. So project administrators will set up the permissions for every other user. So mechanical users will only see what's equivalent to them or what's beneficial to them. They won't see anything else that's unnecessary. So any type of costing documents, any type of architectural designs that are still preliminary, forgive my English there. But the idea is you only get to see what you need. That's why consuming files is so much better, because you're consuming what has been updated, and that consumption becomes your link. So that means you don't have to jump into the architectural folder and go through 10 different models to find what you need. You simply go to design collaboration, consume what you need, and then it becomes available in your folder structure.
Okay, and if there's any more questions, guys, please share them with us. But we've got another question here. Do all Revit modelers require the same version of Revit to collaborate?
So that is a definite yes. If you are running Revit 2020, all other users require Revit 2020 as well. Remember, Revit does not backtrack in saving. So 2019 users and 2021 users will not even be able to see the project. That's the beauty as well about the BIM 360 platform. Is if your design collaboration project is 2020, then only 2020 users can access them. Other users won't even be able to see the model.
Okay. We've got another question from Tom Tozo. He says, is BIM collaboration in construction phase now contractually being handled in South Africa? I assume this has to be built into the contract. I'm asking in view of current procurement procedures or any contractual limitations we may have, for example, of projects in South Africa currently. So
it's a great question again. Yes, build it into the contract. Remember, you are dealing with the client, so you are telling the client what is the eventual output or model that's going to be given. So if you guys are going down that route, it's always good to have a contractual agreement about it. If there is no agreement, then I would assume then you guys are sticking to the regular 2D material that is going out to the client during handover phase. But we found a huge benefit now, not just for the client, but for the contractual team, for other design teams who are not on Revit, to see this 3D model. It gives them a better understanding of what's going out on site. With the 3D model, there comes more benefits the more services you activate in BIM 360. But I think I'm going to get ahead of myself there.
No, I think, we can cover so much ground today, but I think that's where the benefits are coming into it, is that that's why we've broken down these webinars really, so that we can touch base in terms of the different key components of our workflows and processes. And I think, it's an important thing that we can touch on some of the initial information to get everybody the right stepping stone moving forward. I see Dino, sorry, for Mark, as a question first. Do you get a demo version of Revit MEP or a monthly subscription?
So in terms of Revit demos, yes, you can subscribe for 31 days via the Autodesk website to run Revit. Revit as a full package comes with the MEP services for mechanical, electrical, and piping. And of course, you can still demo what's at the new Collaborate Pro as well for about 30 days. I might have to just confirm that. But the demos are available. And the moment you want to go buy the product, Michael's the one to talk to. He can tell you even more.
Yeah, look, the licensing structure, or we call subscribing to the licenses, there is different subscription term lengths. So what I would say, Dino, is that, get in contact with us. We can get one of the account managers or myself to get in contact with you and go through the different pricing options and capabilities and availabilities. Look, Revit is a standalone license, or it is actually part of the AEC collection. But the other benefit of having the AEC collection is that you now get access to Autodesk docs. So, Dino, give us a shout, drop us an email, and I'll elaborate a little bit more for you actually on that.
All right. So with that in mind, when it comes to BIM 360, guys, there's a lot more to look out for with our webinars. So what is next? That's always a general question. What is next? So go beyond just designing. So with BIM 360 Coordinate, you can automate clash detections for all Collaborate Pro users. So this means not only are you utilizing a cloud work sharing, now you are utilizing a cloud clash detection module as well to help you identify any problematic key areas in your model. And then, of course, BIM 360 Build. This is a checklist reporting and asset tracking tool that can be linked to what you've been doing in BIM 360. So if you've got a physical model on site and you've got the digital twin, you can connect these two with BIM 360 assets. Again, we do a lot more than just webinars here at Modena. We do training, implementation, and we can even answer some queries if you guys have any. So after the webinar, if you were too scared or shy to ask us the question, if you guys want to know about any of our implementation programs, you're more than welcome to get a hold of Michael or myself. And we would be glad to talk to you guys about any type of queries, trainings, implementation, of course. So guys, thank you again from our side for your patience and joining us within this webinar. Look out for the next one. I think there's one next week for the ACC Collaborate Pro. But in terms of the series for MEP and BIM 360, the next one would be the coordination. So come see how we coordinate utilizing BIM 360 and Revit, of course.
Thank you, Dino. It's been a great session. Obviously, I'm sure that everybody else actually agrees. And obviously, for everyone who's obviously joined us, we'd like to say thank you for your time and taking your Friday to have a chat to us about some of the topics we've covered today. Like Dino said, if you have any questions, please get in contact with us. We'll get a relevant account manager to chat with yourself, arrange a presentation, demo. And, that's what we're here to do. We're here to help your life to be easier. Guys, again, thank you. Hope you have a fantastic day further. Dino, it was a pleasure as always.
Always.
And we look forward to everybody joining us for our next series.
Perfect. Bye, everybody.
Cheers.